Hey y'all, welcome back to Happily Hester After. What's up? Anyway, y'all, welcome back to the vlog. So as you all saw from our last video, I had the surgery. It went great. The doctor got everything out despite my doubts and not believing him or the nurses or my husband or anybody. I was like, nah, this hasn't happened. But it has been... It's been a full week, hasn't it? It's been a week since the surgery, a week and a day. And the cramping has pretty much stopped. I'm still bleeding though, but now it's more like brown. And I had my post-op yesterday, and I asked the doctor, I was like, is this normal for me to still be... Not getting into that. I asked him, I was like, is this normal for me to still be bleeding? And he was like, oh yeah, it's fine. Because basically we've interrupted your uterine lining. So, everything has to kind of get itself back together. So that made sense. I was like, okay, fine. So I'm still bleeding. Bleh. But, yeah. Other than that, I feel okay. I mean, I'm still pushing.
Right.
But we have great news for you all. The doctor, they did the testing on the polyp, because after you have a polyp removal surgery, they're supposed to test it to make sure that the polyp isn't cancerous.
Yep.
And it is not cancerous. Yay!
Woot.
Everything was benign.
Benign.
I feel like we're saying Belial. If y'all don't know what Belial is a wicked spirit. Anyway, we're not getting into that right now. Everything is benign.
Benign.
So that's great. We're excited. At this point, the doctor said that our pregnancy rate, percentage, should go up. I'm not going to give an exact number because I don't know. But that's good. That's really... positive to hear and to know. I'm just hoping that the pregnancy rate, increases, but the statistic of being able to keep the baby increases, if that's a thing.
Yes, the basic idea is that
Birth rate.
The basic idea is that live birth rates increase because now you actually are able to carry the child, because once again, going back to understanding what's going on, the polyp that in the scar tissue that she had inhibited. Wrong word. The polyp and scar tissue she had was making it very difficult for the child. To the potential child to implant into her uterus. The scar tissue, as everybody knows, is a thick lining that can cause disruption in anyone's body. So obviously, a small little egg/embryo is going to have a hard time trying to do anything inside of scar tissue.
Yep.
So that's the idea. Now that the scar tissue is gone, then that's basically it. I mean, the answer is in front of us. So, the surgery. Let's talk about that. It was quick. About 30 minutes. We went to the hospital, got everything taken care of. The blood people were kind of acted up, but we're not worried about that right now. We're really just talking about the surgery in general. It went by well, as obviously she's alive, so nothing went wrong in the hospital room. And once she came back out, she was out of it, to say the least. The list of drugs they gave her included propofol, Oxycontin 4, I believe. How do
you remember?
Because there's a list there, and propofol was what killed Michael Jackson. And the Oxycontin is what people use all the time. Point being, Ariel was high as a kite.
I was not.
Anyway, you know what? I would like to insert a video right here showing you guys just how high she was. We're only gonna put like a few seconds of it, maybe 30 seconds. But take a look.
Your surgery is done. It's 11:24. Yeah, a few things went wrong. It's the year 2025, but you did fine. Yeah, we're 5 years in the future.
You can feel it.
No, that's the point.
Thank God you didn't feel it.
Are you hungry? Huh? You want to get something to eat?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Some bread. Or some old Charlie's bread.
I need wait.
Surgery's done.
So basically the surgery, we went up there, it was outpatient, so I didn't have to go to the hospital. I just went to the Kaiser doctor's office or whatever, and they took me to one of those rooms like in the movies, or like when you go to the emergency room where they have like the different quote unquote rooms that are separated only by like shower curtains.
Right.
So I went into my shower curtain 4x2 and they were like, you know, get undressed.
That don't even make sense.
4 feet by 2 feet.
No, it had to be like maybe 5 feet by 10 feet. It was probably a 5 by 10, if anything.
Anyway, I went into my 4x2 and they were like, okay, get undressed and only wear the hospital gown and you can keep your socks on. I was like, that's so random, my socks. And then I had to put on this like fabric shower cap. And I did that. It was really weird because this was like, I've never had any types of procedures or surgeries done on me. And I don't even think I've ever really worn a hospital gown. So it was weird. I had to leave it undone in the back. So I was like, and then they told me to lay down. And then I just laid there and waited. And then the doctor came in and talked to me, the nurse, the anesthesiologist. Everybody needed to take their turn talking to me while I was still coherent, apparently. And they did my vitals, they hooked me up to the IV, they put the IV in my wrist. You can't even see the scar too much no more, but you can see it before. It was a little bump. It's mostly gone.
That black part, that's what's that?
That's a scar that I have. Anyway, I don't know.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
Who hit you?
A paper cut. I don't know.
Paper cut don't do that.
Anyway.
Y'all saw that, right?
Anyway,
that
so
wasn't
they
no
stuck
paper cut.
the IV in my hand and
that
it
like
hurt.
A cat scratch.
I was like, is it gonna hurt? She's like, oh no, you'll feel a little pinch. It pinched, but the problem isn't it going in. The problem is it staying in. The longer it was in me, I was like, this hurts. And I told the nurse, I was like, this hurts. And she was like, well, it's about to be over.
Listen, I went to the hospital for 2 lung collapses. So trust me, her hospital stay was definitely a trigger for me. So going through that was a lot, but it was good to see that she got out quickly.
Yes.
I had a 6-day stay the first time, and then the second time I had my lung collapse was like a 4 or 5 day stay. So I don't like hospitals.
So, but anyway, so then after they did my vitals and everything, they started to wheel my bed, like my whole bed, like no walking. They wheeled the bed into the hall and started going towards the surgical suite. And then somebody was like, wait, did y'all get her urine pregnancy test?
Really?
They were like, the lab still hasn't sent it yet? I was like, So the nurse was like, well, listen, we gotta go. We already on our way. You just gonna have to do another urine sample and then we just gonna go from there. So I was like, I have an IV in my wrist and the back of my gown is undone. So she was like, you hold this IV drip bag and we gonna close the back of your gown and we about to go up in this bathroom and you gonna do another urine sample. So we done scruggled ourselves our way up out of the hospital bed and into the bathroom, and as soon as we stepped in the bathroom, they were like, we got it. I wasn't even mad. I was just like, this is crazy. So then I had to get myself back into that hospital bed, and they wheeled me into the surgical suite. And the surgical suite basically looked like a regular doctor's office, not like a birthing suite or anything, or like a hospital room. But it looked like if you've ever been to a Kaiser or a doctor's office that's similar to that, it looks like a doctor's office, except for they have the little bed with the stirrups. The stirrups might be a little bit sturdier or something, I don't know. But they scooted my bed up, right next to that bed, and they were the same height, and they were like, just scoot into this bed. So I scooted into the bed and they were like, okay, go ahead and put your legs in the stirrups. And I'm thinking like, okay, I'm not going to be drugged during this part. I thought I was going to be asleep and y'all was just going to move me around. Like, so I moved my feet into the stirrups and I had to scoot all the way down to the end, just like when you're getting a PAP. And I had previously asked the anesthesiologist when he came in, I was like, oh, am I going to be asleep? Because I'm like, yeah, I need to be asleep through this. And he was like, no, you'll be comfortable. I was like, comfortable? I want to be asleep. So he was like, no, you'll just be comfortable. I was like, okay. So we go in there, and instead of doing like a mask on my face, they put the medicine in through the IV, which is why it was important for the IV to stay hooked up. So what do you have going on?
Anyway,
So she was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. The anesthesiologist was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the medicine in. You can literally see you playing on your phone in the video. You a heathen.
Hey guys.
Put that down, honey. Pay attention.
Stop. Now you're playing copyrighted music.
No, stop. Anyway, so she was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the medicine in. So I was like, okay, and I was looking up at the ceiling, and I was waiting for the medicine to come in, and then next thing I know, my husband and my mother-in-law were leaning over me, talking to me, and, you know, mind you, my vision is blurry, like, I couldn't really see, and I was looking, and I was
Because her glasses
looking.
were off.
No, that's not why. It's because I was sleeping.
Her glasses were not on her face.
I can see without my glasses, Daryl. I have astigmatism. You were really close. I could see you.
Her glasses were not on her face.
Anyway, so I just see them looking over me, and I'm like, hello, what are y'all doing? We have to go have this surgery. Like, get out. I gotta go. And I was telling them, like, shoo, I gotta go get my surgery done. And nobody was listening to me. And the nurse came in, and I was like, hello, can somebody take me down the hall to do this surgery? Nothing has happened. I closed my eyes for 2 minutes, and nobody did the surgery. So I'm just, you know, telling these people, like, nobody's listening to me. And then eventually I just started crying. I was like, this is crazy. My hormones were all over the place. You know when, like, you're PMSing and you just feel your, like, you feel
She didn't tell the story right. All right, let me stop her right there. Everybody was telling her exactly what happened. She was too high to understand what was going on.
I was not high.
We were like, she said, is the surgery, as you guys saw in the video, is the surgery over? Yes, it's over.
Why don't you play the video here?
How long have you guys, because I already played it. How long have you guys been here? Like 10 minutes. Did he do it? Yes. Honey, what are you doing here? I answered her question a solid about 4 or 5 times as to why I was there.
Whatever.
And whether or not the surgery was over. She got to the point where she didn't know whether or not the polyp and scar tissue was actually gone. That's when she began to cry.
Nobody was listening to
Everybody
me.
was listening because the whole hospital could hear her crying. And the doctor finally walks in. Check this out. She didn't believe anybody that the polyp was gone. Mm. This doctor walks in and says, yeah, the polyp's gone. She said, are you sure?
I was like, let me see it if it's gone. Let me see it. Let me see that it's not inside of me.
So the doctor's like, sorry, I can't do that. Like, they throw it away. I mean, they're not trying to keep that. And they didn't throw it away. I mean, that's a lie. They actually used it as a sample to make sure it wasn't cancerous.
Yeah, it wasn't cancerous.
Point is, they didn't have it. But Ariel, she lying. Everybody heard her. Everybody was giving her what she wanted. She was still crying. Anyway.
Nobody was listening to me. Nobody understood.
Point is, surgery was successful. We're successful. Black people.
Yay.
High five for successful blackness.
So we're super excited going forward. That has been a lot of a light in the midst of all the darkness. So we're excited that that's gone and hopeful.
That was the villain of the story.
Yeah.
That polyp and scar tissue was the villain. That was what was keeping us. That was it. So it's gone now. Like, we won the battle. It's over.
Yep.
Shout now.
Yay.
So, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Oh my God, we appreciate you all so much for being 500 subscribers. Yay! Anyway, we thank you all so much for watching.
Continue to follow us on our journey, y'all. It has been rough. It has been rocky, but we are so positive that positive and just hopeful that it is going to end blessed. Well, maybe not end because that would be death, but you know.
Well, no, I mean, because I guess your TTC journey is over when you officially stop wanting to have kids. That's it.
I don't know if we'll ever stop wanting to have kids, honey. That's what we were created to do.
Well, I mean, I'm saying it like this. For example, let's say you have 8 kids and you're done. Like, they're all grown. You're in your 60s, and that's it. Like, it's over. Like, once you just stop having.
Yes, everyone, watch with us until we're 60.
Once you, that's if YouTube still around. That's if the internet's still around.
Anyway, that's a deep existential.
Point is, only when you stop wanting to have kids is the journey truly over for trying to conceive. because you're no longer trying to conceive.
I
It's
don't know
kind of
that.
in the name.
However long it lasts. Thank you for joining us in
Thank
ours.
you all so
Make
much
sure
for
that you
watching.
haven't subscribed
We
already.
hope you guys subscribe some more, and we
Make sure
hope
you all subscribe.
you guys keep us in your mind starts and prayers.
Farts? I don't know what that is.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. God is good all the time and all the time.
God is good.
We'll see you guys next
Lord
time.
willing, we
Lord
will
willing.
see y'all next time.
More than likely.
Bye.